it doesn't break up, as YouTube Live is prone to do. I've been working on like this CIA video, man. I've been wanting to put it out, but the problem is like every time I keep editing it or trying to put stuff together, you know, you start digging into Johnny Mitchell's backstory, how he gets 200 some odd thousand subscribers in a week, all the money behind his podcast, him being on Andrew Schultz, Julian Dorian, Johnny Mitchell doing a podcast together, and Mitchell's wearing one of Ed Calderon's shirts. This isn't even getting into the whole ironclad thing. Everybody on YouTube that's a CIA agent. You know, I'm sitting here and I've got like 1,325 subscribers or something like that, and I never ask people to like and subscribe my videos. I did once in a Marmite video, but basically, people want to hang out cool, and if they don't, that's okay too. You know, I'm legit. I'm a real dude. I'm going to take my wife lunch right now. I'm not as buff as I would like to be. You know, I started a couple months ago at 217, tried to drop weight. Being honest with you guys, I was at 219 because I didn't put up the McDonald's every day. I do go to school. And so I try to figure out, you know, who's telling us the truth and who's not, only to find out that all these people have crazy lies, like Johnny Mitchell exposed on YouTube, going to Oregon State Penitentiary, and then he's never there. And then he's in there with some Hell's Angel when there's no Hell's Angels in Oregon, which is a whole nother thing. And so I try to like come up, now I'm on Hector Bareilles with his interview with Vincent Vargas, where he's claiming to work with those of us in Mexican uniforms that routinely go out and kidnap, execute, and decapitate, Hector Bareilles' words on Vincent Vargas. Vincent Vargas using Pierre Rossini. I've been over that one a gazillion times. Pierre Rossini being locked up with Matthew Cox, who is the which is the only instance of Mexico, but he's some like major cartel dude, even though Vince Vargas vetted Pierre Rossini as having done tech work for the cartel when he's in there for a quarter of a century. I mean, just all the fucking shenanigans that you run into trying just to bring you a clean, truthful channel. Johnny Mitchell talking about all things cartel are his wheelhouse, and then how he's down in, this is just off of other people's work, down in Colombia running drugs or whatever. And then there's Sean Mitchell, who's also down in Colombia running drugs. You find out Travis Haley, who had supposedly trained Ed Calderon in tactical magazine exchanges, also being an ex-CIA employee. None of these CIA employees can tell you anything without risking being executed or put in prison, depending on how the federal government wants to take it due to lifetime secrecy agreements. But they'll just walk over and fork over agents' names working in Mexico to Luis Chaparro, which is more bullshit because Chaparro's never worked for a Mexican news agency as a staff reporter anyways, and lives in the United States. So he would totally put at risk his citizenship giving you CIA names. You know, there's just all these things that you run into. And here's something that's true. You can take this one to the bank. You don't go fighting drug cartel and then learn how to come to terms that someday it may cost you your life. That's a fact. And so when I'm doing these videos, man, I'm not like trying to be antagonistic or an a-hole or anything like that. I love everybody over at Camp Gagnon's crew, but then when I'm calling out Tommy G and his BS about him saying that cartels are smuggling drugs across the border, 2 ounces of methamphetamines at a time, and then selling it on the corner. This is in his video while I'm calling up his so-called cartel contacts, only to have him, Julian, and Mark talking about me behind my back when I'm absolutely legit. And then the beef that goes on between DJ Vlad or Mark Leada and Johnny Mitchell. Johnny Mitchell admitting on the phone that he never vetted Ali Gonzalez's cartel background story. Just all the bullshit that goes on. And here I am trying to make sure that you guys are being told the truth, and nobody wants to talk to me, you know. Demolaire that's on Ed Calderon's. Being based out of LA, I'm told to use her for in-country contacts as far as Mexico goes, and she's married to some dude at the embassy. Ed and his guys, you know what, to be honest, man, I love Ed and Eddie, man. I can see myself getting along with them, but, and I hate the use of the word but, because it negates everything that you just said. I'm going to say it the way it is. I earned that fucking uniform, and I'm going to say what the fuck I want about it. My own platoon might be involved in the Maya Zambada cartel right now. There's a bunch of shit going on where I own a home. And, you know, I come back here and watch all these people, none of whom have written books almost, which is why I'm writing a book, so you can tack down everything that I got to say. Because I better be telling you the fucking truth, and if I'm not, I shouldn't be on YouTube. And what I'm running into is a whole bunch of people selling Canadian tatas with a belly button ring, talking about, oh, she's such a great reporter, but she's afraid to drive across the country to meet the same people she pretends to have on camera. It's just all bullshit. And then every time I go and specifically call these motherfuckers out and go interview the people that they interview, even the people they interview contradict their stories, you know. So I'm sitting here editing all this shit, trying to put out a video while staying on top of paying my tuition, going to work at my normal job, realizing half the bullshit that we see on YouTube is all fed to us by the CIA. Meanwhile, the rest of us sit here and argue about whether or not it's morally correct to go and stack 2 or 3 Tomahawk missiles on top of Iranian schoolgirls. You know, I don't ever tell you guys what to do or think or anything like that. I'm just projecting my own personal experience and perspective based on what I've seen and done in my life and in Mexico. And because I can blow holes in these guys' stories in real time, especially Hector Bareilles, here we go, admitting to the CIA selling the same cocaine I got my hands on when I was a kid by the CIA. You know, people like Dale Comstock, total fucking unit, man, CIA ground branch. Fucking dude's jacked, man. Who wouldn't love to be jacked like that dude? But then at the end of the day, everybody in the CIA that's a mouthpiece on YouTube is 100% going to the CIA currently because of lifetime secrecy agreements to figure out whether they can say whatever it is they want to say on YouTube. And I'm not in that same boat because I've never worked for the CIA or the American government. And when I worked for the Mexican government, it was in a very limited sense, in an area, and I can prove every bit of it, and none of these people want to have your boy on there. But Ed Calderon can't give you his second last name or can't give you a hard, fast exit date on when he left the Baja California State Police. And this isn't me trying to be irritable or not making friends, but every time I question these guys on their shit, I hit a brick wall. And fortunately, I have fought drug cartels in real life, so I don't give a flying fuck what the CIA thinks about it either, because I'm not going to be fucking lied to, man. Much less over a uniform that I took the time to go and earn, only to be called some fucking random by Valhalla VFT, watching Ian Bick and JD DeLay and Valhalla VFT and Julian Dory and Johnny Mitchell and the whole fucking spider web that it all is, because they're all connected. I'm going to give my wife a sandwich right now, guys. I can see all the, I can see the comments, but I'm driving, so I don't want to like dig into them. I will address them as soon as this uploads. Let me give my wife a sandwich because she's like my priority. But I'm working on editing that video. I'm giving you my word I'll have that shit up this afternoon. Well, before 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Cheers, man. Thank you so much. Bye.